Wow, so I never expected Niantic to ever do this, but it looks like bottle caps are actually coming to Pokemon Go. Alright, how's it going everyone? Jinsula here with a brand new Pokemon Go video. I hope your day is going really well, and let's get right into it. So yeah, we gotta talk about this. Bottle caps are looking to come to Pokemon Go very soon. And the reason why I say that is because recently it was revealed through some data mined info that there is now code in the game for an item that will increase the IVs of one of your Pokemon. I am absolutely floored by this because when it comes to bottle caps, this is something that a lot of players have been asking for over time, and it's mainly because they want to get themselves perfect IVs for some of their most powerful Pokemon. This is something that I really feel like is going to change the game dramatically. I mean, there's a lot of players out there who have been wanting this specifically because it would level the playing field. I think a lot of players out there are very frustrated that this is a luck-based game, that there's so much RNG involved with Pokemon Go that you might get yourself a perfect IV from just simply playing the game for free, or it's going to take you ages before you get your first Shundo or your first 100% IV legendary. And the fact that Niantic is now including an item that will actually increase your IVs, well, that gives a lot of those players an actual chance at getting themselves Shundos and perfect IV legendaries. So yeah, this is huge. This has a lot of implications, and I really am wondering how this is going to go over with the Pokemon Go community. I mean, recently they introduced something called the Lucky Trinket, which was an item that allowed you to get lucky friends with one of your friends. And I think for a lot of people, this was something that they actually really enjoyed, and it added a lot of value to an event like the Go Tour event. But I really do think it's interesting that this is something that I never thought Niantic would do. The reason why I say that is because one of the things that produces longevity with Pokemon Go is actually that RNG mechanic. The fact that they just simply do not allow you to get 100% IVs for any of your Pokemon just simply by playing the game. It just allows them to create certain mechanics that will essentially get players continuously grinding, whether it be raid battles or collecting Pokemon from PvP rewards. You really do not know what IVs you're going to get. So in order to get the IVs that you want, you have to just continuously play the game. The lack of player control is what allows Niantic to constantly get players to continue playing the game. But yeah, now that they're adding the way for you to increase your own IVs, I think that's going to change everything. I don't know what they're going to do to produce longevity at this point, because now that this item is coming to the game, players are now going to be able to get whatever IVs they want. Whether it be, let's say, PvP IVs. Maybe they will have some way for you to get PvP IVs now with this item. Or let's say you just want perfect IVs for your shinies and legendary Pokemon. Now you're going to be able to do that with these items. And yeah, I really do think that for a lot of players, maybe this is going to rub them the wrong way, because over time, they've accumulated some really nice Shundos and Hundos over the years, and they want to see the rarity of those Pokemon get retained. And I totally understand that, because there's going to be people out there who grinded it out to get themselves a Shundo of a particular legendary. They did thousands of raids for a particular Shundo. And now they're going to feel like all of that work was for nothing, because pretty much every player is going to be able to get a Shundo of that legendary at this point. But I think aside from that one aspect of it, I really do like the fact that they are doing this, because personally speaking, I have a whole bunch of Shundos. I have a whole bunch of 100% IV legendaries. I'm totally okay with other players getting exactly what I have. It doesn't necessarily take away a lot of what it took to get those Pokemon, you know? Like, maybe what they're going to do is have it behind a paywall, just like the Lucky Trinket. So I'm essentially saving myself a lot of money. Well, let me put it this way. I grinded it out, spending a whole bunch of money on raid passes to get these Pokemon. I essentially am spending the same amount, right? Like, it's going to equal out in a lot of ways. So yeah, I feel like there really isn't anything that I'm losing. I feel like if anything, it's just going to benefit the community. This item is actually something that I think is going to go over well for the majority of players at the very least. So yeah, I'm really excited about this, and Granted, this is all from data mined information. We all have to take this information with a grain of salt. It's not necessarily confirmed that this item is coming to Pokemon Go. All we have is code in the game that suggests an item that will allow us to increase IVs is coming to Pokemon Go. We do not know how Niantic is going to implement them. We do not know if it's going to be a rare raid drop, or if it's going to be something we could grind for from a special research, or if it's going to be a part of those battle passes that we saw with the Lucky Trinket. I am suspecting that it's going to go down that route. I think something like this is just incredibly powerful. It's going to be incredibly popular, and I think for a lot of players, they will want to get their hands on this item, whatever it may be. And I think the best way for Niantic to monetize it is going to be by including it in a battle pass. And that way they could also limit it as well, so that not everyone is going to be getting hundreds of these items. I really do not know how they're going to do it. I do not know what the right approach is, but at the very least, we are going to be getting bottle caps, or some item that's going to function very similarly to bottle caps. And yeah, I think it's very exciting. I think this is really cool stuff. And I do think it's going to be very divisive. I think there's going to be a lot of players who are not going to be happy about this item. And that's totally understandable, because there's players who have been playing since the beginning, and they have themselves a huge collection of 100% IVs. And I'm pretty sure those players are going to be the ones who are going to be very unhappy about this. But at the same time, I do want to present the argument that you're really not losing anything with the introduction of this item. If anything, it's just going to make your collection even better. This is pretty big stuff, and I'm really curious to see how Niantic is going to implement this new item, and I do think it's going to be a beginning of something new in Pokemon Go. I think a lot of people are no longer going to care about whether or not they get perfect IVs for a legendary now that this item is in the game. There's going to be a lot of people who are going to be grinding it out for this item. And yeah, we'll just see how this all ends up panning out. But yeah, anyway, that's going to be it for this video. Let me know your thoughts regarding the introduction of this item in the comment section down below. Are you happy about it? Are you dismayed about it? Do you feel like your collection now lost a lot of value? Definitely present your arguments in the comment section down below. Yeah, let's have a great discussion. I think there's going to be a lot of people with varying opinions regarding the introduction of bottle caps, and I'm really excited to see what people have to say. It's definitely going to be a very interesting year once they introduce this item. And yeah, thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of this discussion video. If you ended up enjoying it and found it to be insightful, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if it's your first time here, and don't forget that little bell so you can stay up to date on whenever I upload videos. And real quick, let me give a shout out to all of my patrons on Patreon. You make this channel content possible, and you're gonna see their names on the bottom of your screen. And if you want to support my channel, the best way you could do that is going to be by joining my Patreon, just like the people you see down below. And if you choose to do that, I will add you to my Pokemon Go friends list. So just like all of these players, you're going to be able to open and send gifts with me. You're going to be able to get remote raid invites. And if that's something that interests you, make sure you go and check out my Patreon. And if you want to support my channel in a completely different way, you're always welcome to do so by following me on social media. My handle is @Jinsula. I'm on the platforms that you see on the bottom of your screen. Make sure you go over there and give me a follow. That will be a huge help. With all that said, that's going to be it for this video. I'm Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, and love yourself today, and I'll catch you all later.